Welcome in to Steelers Talk, Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry. Today was day 2 of Steelers OTAs, and we've got the latest news covered for you today. Can't wait to break it down with y'all here in just a second. But first, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button here to Steelers Talk, where we're going to be covering OTAs all throughout the offseason. Of course, we're going to be covering training camp as well. So if you want to know which Steelers players are impressing, which ones maybe aren't impressing, you want to stay up to date on the Steelers, go ahead, click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join our Steelers family today. All right, so I want to start this off with a couple guys that are missing from Steelers OTAs, okay? So Larry Ogunjobi, newly signed defensive end, defensive tackle. He's missing from these non-mandatory OTAs. I do want to mention that. And then Armon Watts, the newly signed defensive tackle, formerly with the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears, not present for OTAs, despite the fact that he's new. So I don't really care that these guys are gone, to be honest with you. I mean, they're not mandatory workouts, whatever. And actually, the Steelers' attendance for the OTAs so far has actually been really, really good. Okay, so they got 85 out of 87 guys on their roster in attendance, including now TJ Watt, who was not there for day 1, but he did join his teammates for day 2. There's some speculation that his fall in the pool or whatever might have injured him, and he was rehabbing for that. It seems like that's not the case whatsoever. He's fine. He showed up today. He's good. He was with his teammates. That is awesome to see. So let me know right now, what will TJ Watt's stat line look like in 2023? Will he have 15 or more sacks for the 2023 season? Give me a yes or give me a no in the comments section. I love TJ Watt. I think he's going to get above 15, but let me know what you guys think. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get a chance here, do me a favor, take advantage of that time during the ad read and answer today's question with a yes or a no. So in other news, players have weighed in, and Kenny Pickett went from 213 pounds to 226 pounds over the course of one offseason, meaning he added 13 pounds of muscle over this offseason. This is just a testament to the hard work that this kid has been putting in to have a stellar sophomore season. And with somebody with that level of focus, I have big time belief in somebody like this to make the proper adjustments in year 2. And he's going to have to make those adjustments because, in my opinion, Pickett is the guy on the Steelers roster with the most to prove in 2023. You drafted him in the first round at age 24 just last season in the 2022 NFL draft. This year, he's going to be 25. I mean, the clock is ticking for these older quarterbacks. They have a shorter leash than the guys that are drafted at 21 years of age. Kenny needs to really deliver next season because he did show some flaws on tape, especially early on, but then later on down the road, he got better as the season went on. He really delivered in those clutch moments and nearly got the Steelers to the playoffs. So I really like Kenny Pickett. I think he's going to be somebody that has a really solid sophomore season. But, of course, Matt Canada's offense is going to play a big role in that, so I guess we will have to see. If you're a big believer in Kenny Pickett, you can get his jersey today on the Chat Sports website. Go to chatsports.com/Pickett. We got white, we got black, we got a bunch of different designs for you to choose from. If you believe in KP8, you think he's going to be the franchise quarterback for the Steelers for years to come, go ahead, get his jersey today at chatsports.com/Pickett. So is Kevin Dotson, interior offensive lineman for the Steelers, former starter, is he on his way out of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization? He was asked at his locker after day 1 of OTAs what he thought of the additions on the offensive line during the 2023 offseason, and this is what he had to say. "I'm not really mad. It's just part of the game, and there is nothing I can do about it. There's no reason to worry about it. I feel like I change. I feel if I go somewhere else or if I stay here, I feel like I'll get my opportunity. The last 9 games of the season, I feel like I was going in my stride. I felt like I was getting better. They was telling me I was getting better. They was talking a lot of good stuff during the offseason. I still can't blame them. I guess it's part of the game." So it definitely seems like Dotson isn't super thrilled to still be with the Pittsburgh Steelers because he has been kind of put down the totem pole, so to speak here. And it might be a good time to move on from the guy. I mean, it seems like he wants a fresh start. He's somebody that's a former starter that's been demoted. And, it's tough for him because the Steelers did make some nice additions this year, right? Isaac Seumalo, one of the best guards in football. You're just not going to play over that guy, especially with the amount of money that he's making. James Daniels and Mason Cole both had great 2022 campaigns, at least in my opinion. So there's really nowhere for Dotson to go here. He acknowledged that. He said, you pay somebody the amount of money that you're paying Seumalo, you're pretty much etching it in stone. He's going to start. Seems like he's a little bit bummed about that. And if you cut him, you're going to be saving just under $3 million here. $2.743 million is the exact figure there. And, the Steelers don't necessarily need that cap space, right? They got 2 roster spots to fill after they sign Marcus Golden. And, they're probably going to have about $10 million in cap space for 2023 still available to them. So by no means do they need to make this move. But, for somebody that was a former starter, somebody that, just doesn't really seem to be super thrilled about being a backup, at least here in Pittsburgh, it might be the right time to let Kevin Dotson go. So should the Steelers cut Kevin Dotson before the start of the 2023 season? Let me know by typing C if you would cut him, or type K if you want to keep him for offensive linebacker depth. Oh, and for me, I'm gonna say cut. I'm gonna say cut for him because I want players that want to be in the locker room. I want guys that are ready to go to war no matter what. It just seems like he's not too thrilled about being in the same locker room that he was once a starter in. Now he's a backup. It just doesn't seem like the right vibe to me. For me, I would cut him and maybe go out and get a nice free agent. So before I go, I'll have some notes from Steelers practice on day 2 and, of course, day 1 as well. I'm going to be mixing in a lot of stuff here. And I want to start with somebody that I want to talk about so bad as a really, really great player for the Steelers moving on into 2023, and that's Kevin Dotson III. And apparently, based on what I'm hearing, he is showing out in the drills. His agility is insane. The speed is really popping off the film, so to speak. He's somebody that is really impressing coaches and media members right now, which is a fantastic, fantastic sign here heading into the 2023 season. Now, Kevin Dotson III is somebody that's going to have to prove that he deserves playing time this year. Okay, you got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Those guys are locked in. You got Allen Robinson coming in here via trade, somebody they clearly wanted on the roster. And I think Kevin Dotson III, his role this season could be playing special teams quite a bit as a punt and kickoff return man. But I think he's also going to be kind of like that 4th receiver in your 4 wide receiver sets. And I think he's also going to be playing a lot on third downs and obvious passing situations. Because, I mean, that kind of athleticism and the explosion that he brings to the table, if none of that has been compromised by the foot injury that he had last year and he's still that speed demon, the Steelers need to find a way to get that guy on the field. Then we got Dan Moore Jr. next on the docket here, who got first-team reps at left tackle over first-round rookie Broderick Jones. Now, I actually really like this move by Mike Tomlin to make the rookie earn his position. For me, I think Broderick Jones by week 1 will be the starting left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Dan Moore Jr. was the starter last year, and Broderick's got to take it from him. Plain and simply, there's no handouts here. And Mike Tomlin is exactly the type of head coach that makes his rookies earn their playing time. That's exactly what Broderick Jones is going to have to do. It seems like Broderick is up to the task. He was saying, yeah, man, I got to earn it. Dan Moore is the presumptive starter at this point, but I think that Broderick Jones, with the talent that he brings to the table, will eventually take that starting role. I think it's probably going to be by week 1. Then we got Connor Hayward here, where there's some rumors going around that he could be moving to fullback, but he was working with the tight ends in day 1 of OTA practice. Somebody that I've said for all offseason, move him to fullback. He's got the perfect body type for it. He's a great receiver. He's somebody that Matt Canada, if he was smart, would really want to use this guy as a receiving weapon from the fullback position. Some of the best play callers and offensive game planners in the National Football League, like Kyle Shanahan, the head coach from Mike McDaniel from Miami. Those guys use fullbacks as receiving weapons, and it's awesome. But, you take a look at Connor Hayward. He's going to probably be working with the tight ends here, but I really hope in the coming days that he gets some work at fullback. I think that is probably the best move for the Steelers next season, especially if you're going to be running a power run game. I want to have a fullback in those I formations, especially towards the goal line. I think Connor Hayward would definitely fit that role nicely. So where do you think Connor Hayward will play this season? Type TE if you think he's going to be a tight end, or if you think he's going to be a fullback, type FB in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's show, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by and being a real one. We're going to be having more OTA coverage here coming up, so make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you always know when we put out our free videos here on YouTube. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I will see you guys later, and as always, here we go, Steelers.